Constitution Week, and I have some tickets too, so that between the two of us, when we finish, just come to us. It's not that they're an expensive ticket to cover their costs. If you go to the gate, it'll be $5, but someone has paid for these tickets, wanted, especially faith group leaders, have a chance, and if you're not able to attend, but you know someone today that might have an interest in attending, it sounds like you've got some tickets too.
Yeah, we've got some tickets as well, and we have speakers and singers, just so you know the event. Timothy Hahn.
Yeah, some faith group leaders in the area speaking about freedom of religion, the blessing of that, and then music. It'll be a great event. So Higley Center for the Performing Arts tonight at 7. And then Constitution Fair, again, another celebration of freedom of religion on Saturday night. So, the last part, 3 important topics. We begin with our town manager again talking about a community needs assessment. Want to make sure you understand what that is, the impact, a little discussion too, and we'll carry on, and then I'll stand up before Sherri comes up and introduce that to you. Town Manager Andrew.
Thank you. I wanted to go through with you this morning. At a high level, there's a lot of information on these slides because there was a lot of information contained within this study that we had performed, and Kurt is going to email each of you a copy of these slides so you can spend more time with those at your own pace. You can also go to the town's website and find the full report if you'd like to download that and go through it. From a high level, what I'm here to talk to you about this morning is the community needs assessment that the town of Gilbert had commissioned in the last fiscal year. And what that was, we partnered with the Williams Institute to understand what those human service needs are in our community. What are the gaps? What are the services that are needed? What is the population? What's the profile of those populations? To arm us with factual information that we can then collectively, as a government organization, as well as partnering with our faith-based community and other service providers, begin to tackle these needs and address the needs of this portion of our community. So I'll go over the report highlights, a review of the recommendations, and then the next steps. We'll save some time for some Q&A, or we can do that at the end. You're certainly welcome afterwards. I'll be more than happy to answer any follow-up questions, and I can direct you to the right staff members as well who are running point on these. So the highlights, the first part was understanding the population that has needs within our community. And some of these numbers, when you look at them, 14,000 residents living below the federal poverty level, 26,000 qualifying as low income, 8,000 65 years and over below the poverty level, 10,000 students qualifying for free and reduced lunches. And if you look at that as a percentage of our population, it's fairly low percentages in comparison to many communities on a national basis. That we have a smaller portion of that population in our community. But I think the question that we all ask ourselves is 10,000 students qualifying for free or reduced lunches okay? Is that acceptable to us? Or 14,000 residents living below the federal poverty level okay to us? And I think we would all answer that question that it's not. We'd like to see all of those numbers drop down to 0 if that were possible. And I think that together, working together, we stand a great chance of making that happen. So we wanted to understand the population. The next step was the 3 key questions. What human services are currently available and accessible in our community? What are the gaps? And what are our greatest needs? So, highlighting the services that are currently available: senior and recreation socialization programs, food assistance for families, individuals in crisis, and homebound seniors, out-of-school programs for youths, and again, this is not an assessment and a tallying of the programs that just the town offers, but are offered in our greater community on the whole by nonprofit agencies, as well as many of your organizations and the services you provide. Assistance to residents with developmental disabilities. What are the gaps or areas for improvement? Centralized and personalized resource for information and referral. Sometimes people don't know where to go to get help or get assistance in the area of need that they have. Safe, affordable housing, affordable, accessible transportation, access to basic necessities, and accessible health care to meet their needs. One of the greatest needs, a prioritized list, and these are rank ordered by the population groups, by critically of need, including 2 emerging groups of that is families and individuals in crisis, mental health and substance abuse treatment group, low moderate income individuals and families, elderly seniors, homeless individuals and families, special needs individuals, youth, immigrants, and cultural diverse individuals and families. And one thing that the Williams Group did note in the report given to us is that in a community like Gilbert, which is a community of affluence based on our demographics, it's often difficult to understand the true extent of the issues of the individuals, of the families in crisis. There can be a social stigma in a community like Gilbert, that one minute you and your family are heartily donating to a food bank, and the next week, because of a job loss or a health issue, serious health issue, that you now need assistance from that food bank, and that can create a real issue. And so trying to understand the full extent can be a little bit more challenging in a community like Gilbert. What are the recommendations that they came up with? And this was they were very specific. I've seen reports like these before. I've been involved with reports like these before. They really spent a lot of time, and we were very impressed with them and the depth and quality of their work, that they were very specific in many areas. Some of those are revisiting the 5-year plan to eliminate general fund contracts, create a dynamic human services resource list accessible on the town website and available in print. And while we should do that, and that's important, it's funny, if you're homeless, you probably don't have access to a computer to get to the town website. So again, small thing, probably goes by most of us, but most of us I don't think are in need. So again, finding ways, and that's where you as our partners are going to be so important to provide information on where people can go and where they can turn. Create a location within the town outside of the police department for providing personalized, confidential human services referrals. Our police department, headed up by Tim Dorn, are often the organization or the individuals within our community that are most aware of people that are in need because they'll run across them in their daily work. And they are a great resource for us, and we're going to continue doubling up our training opportunities for them so that they are all fully equipped when they run across a family in need or an individual in need, that they know where to send that person and the help that they can provide them in their job. Create a mental health and substance abuse treatment resource, develop awareness of needs and encourage volunteerism to reduce feelings of social stigma, and implement Gilbert's transportation master plan that was just completed in the last fiscal year. Continue pursuing jobs and higher wages for Gilbert. I won't run through all of these, but again, when people have the opportunity to get a job and earn a living, I think that that's all anybody asks is for a chance to earn a living and to provide for the needs of themselves and their families. I think anybody would much rather do that than have to live off assistance. And so that's something that the town of Gilbert and the mayor's made one of his priorities on his platform, is to create job opportunities within our community. Partner with nonprofits to create a community volunteer corps. We've got many of you in the room this morning mentioned your participation with For Our City, and that is exactly what we need to do more of. Cross-education for town employees to make appropriate human service referrals. I mentioned that with police. Provide healthcare guidance and accessibility. More recommendations: expand the neighborhood services division to provide increased communication with local neighborhoods. Begin to prepare now for the aging Gilbert residents. We're a fairly young community right now, statistically speaking. Reward contracts for human services for best practices and measurable outcomes. And again, there's many recommendations that you can go online and learn much more about. So the next steps at the council retreat in August, they identified 4 priority tasks for the Human Relations Commission to review and recommend to the council over the next 18 to 24 months. They asked them to review and draft new funding guidelines incorporating best practices, improve communication between human service providers, recipients, town staff, and the community at large to raise awareness of existing services, develop human service awareness programs and encourage volunteerism, and develop regional partnerships to provide prevention services to all population groups in collaboration with nonprofits and faith communities. For the town staff, they identified 6 priorities for us to focus on over the next 18 to 24 months. Take a role in recognizing the need for mental health and substance abuse treatment facilities, work with healthcare facilities to create healthcare expertise in Gilbert for Gilbert residents, reconsider allocation of home funds to Gilbert low-income residents, partner with CAST to provide additional shelter space for the homeless in Gilbert, encourage council participation in events promoting awareness of human services needs, and provide new and unique opportunities for community leaders to enhance understanding of human services needs in our community. And so our greatest strengths, and this has been a journey for all of us as we worked with the Williams Institute. I know many of you were probably interviewed by them as part of this study, and as we look, as now we are armed with factual information of the challenges we have in the community and the areas in which for us to focus, our greatest strengths and how are we going to accomplish this task. And the one thing, as I read this and as I thought about it, and as I look at everybody in this room today, I think that our greatest strength truly is the love we have for Gilbert. Because when you love something, you will go that extra mile. Not like you love cheesecake or you love the St. Louis Cardinals, which the mayor happens to love. It's the love you have for God. It's the love you have for your spouse, for your children. When you truly love something, you will go the extra mile, you will give the extra effort, you will fully commit yourself to accomplishing whatever that goal is that's in front of you, or whatever you have to do to achieve the outcome, or the relationship that you want to have with that person or with God. And I think it's the love that we have for Gilbert as a community. And I know I see that in our staff when they go above and beyond to serve you. I see that in our mayor and our elected officials when they give unbelievable amounts of their time to this community to address the needs. And I see it in all of you by giving your time this morning to work on this very serious issue that we have before us. And I think we can do it. The people, the clean, vibrant, attractive community, we're family-oriented, we have great schools. Our police and fire departments, I think what you heard from Chief Jobusch and Chief Dorn, while they do fight crime, they do fight fires, they love this community as well. And all of their firemen, all of their patrolmen, they are here to proactively make sure that Gilbert is a great place to live and a safe place to live. The mayor responds quickly when a problem arises. We can't thank the mayor enough for his commitment to this community and what he's done for us through the years. The affluence for many, we have the opportunity. Giving and commitment of time and resources is a personal choice for everybody, but we do have influence in this community. And I think if each one of us can align our personal choices with how we like to serve, who we'd like to serve, I think we'd find that we can address all the categories identified in this report. And then we are a community of faith, and it really does make a difference. It's the missing piece in many communities nationally nowadays. When we look at all of our accolades, I think that our strong faith-based community is one of the fundamental pillars that we have that contributes to that other communities are missing. So with that, we can answer any questions, or I'll turn it back over to the mayor, and we can keep going from there.
Yeah, just one that I don't see anything there. Veterans affairs, veterans community, veterans clinic. Any thoughts on that?
Yes, I skipped over quite a bit. There was an entire section on veterans and providing for the needs of veterans. Yeah, and again, you can find that in much greater detail in the report that's available online. But yes, there was an entire section on services for veterans and taking care of their needs. Okay, thank you.